Okay, so if you're running an online business, you know you're sitting on a gold mine of data. But for most of us, let's be honest, it's just noise. Today, we're going to cut through that noise. We're going to tackle the one problem every single entrepreneur faces. What does all this data actually mean?
And this is the core struggle, isn't it? You're practically drowning in data from your website, every click, every visit, every single purchase. But turning that huge mountain of information into even one single game-changing insight, yeah, that can feel next to impossible.
But what if there was a simple framework to make sense of it all? Well, there is. It's called Web Analytics 2.0, and it's a simple but really powerful shift in thinking. It helps us move beyond just asking what happened to finally understanding why it happened.
This whole roadmap is built on just 4 simple questions. We start with the basics, right? What happened and how much was it worth? Pretty straightforward. But then we get to the really powerful part, digging into the why. And finally, we zoom out to get some context with what else. This exact progression is how you turn raw data into a winning strategy.
So let's start with those first 2 questions by looking at what I like to call the vital signs of your e-commerce business, your key performance indicators, or KPIs.
Now, a KPI isn't just another number you track. Think of it as a vital sign. It's tied directly to a specific business goal. It's the metric that tells you with zero ambiguity if you're actually winning or if you're just spending your reels.
For any e-commerce store, if you're going to track one thing, this is it. The single most important KPI is arguably the conversion rate. It's the ultimate measure of how effective your site is. It answers one simple, crucial question. How good are we at turning casual visitors into actual paying customers?
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. We're not just looking at one big average conversion rate here. We're breaking it down by where the visitors came from. And just look at the difference. Google search and direct traffic are converting at 5%. But look, traffic from social media ads is only converting at 2%. This proves not all traffic is created equal, and it tells you exactly where your marketing efforts are paying off the most.
All right, another vital sign for your business is the customer acquisition cost, or CAC. This KPI is brutally honest. It tells you exactly how much you are spending in marketing dollars to get each and every new buyer to walk through your virtual door.
So let's just put a number on it. Let's say your average customer acquisition cost is $25. The immediate question is, okay, is that good or is that bad? But on its own, that number is totally meaningless. Its real value depends entirely on what that customer spends with you over their lifetime. I mean, if they only ever spend $30, you've got a big problem. But if they end up spending $300, well, that $25 is an absolute bargain.
You know, knowing the what and how much is really just the starting line. The real power comes from answering that next question. Why did it happen? This is the pivot point. This is where we stop just reporting on data and start actually making decisions. The secret weapon for discovering the why is experimentation. And the classic method here is A/B testing. It sounds fancy, but it's simple. You create 2 versions of a page, you show them to different users, and you let their actions tell you which one is the winner. And just how powerful can a good test be? Well, there's a famous case study where a huge e-commerce company ran a simple A/B test on a single button, and it generated an extra $300 million in a single year. No joke.
So here's what they did. The original button, version A, said register. That feels like a big commitment, right? It creates friction. They tested it against version B, which just said continue, a simple low-friction word. The result? Conversions just skyrocketed. It is the perfect example of how finding the why behind what makes a user hesitate can totally transform a business.
So you figured out what's happening on your site, and you're testing to find out why. You are in a great spot. But there is one more crucial piece to this puzzle. What's happening outside your own walls?
This is where something called competitive intelligence, or CI, comes into play. It's all about analyzing the broader industry and your competition to give your own performance some much-needed context. I absolutely love this analogy. Think of it this way. Your own analytics show you with perfect accuracy what's happening inside your world. But competitive intelligence, that's like having a view of the entire universe. It lets you see how you really stack up against everyone else.
And this data helps you see that bigger picture. So maybe your traffic is growing, and that feels great. But what if your main competitor is growing twice as fast as you are? Suddenly, your success looks a little different, doesn't it? CI helps you understand your true position in the market. It helps you spot opportunities you might be missing, and it keeps you from getting blindsided.
So you see, we started out in a sea of confusing data. But by following this framework, we've built a clear bridge from just raw information to making confident, decisive actions. So here's the action plan. Remember, the goal isn't just to track everything, it's to track the right things. First, measure your vitals with KPIs. Second, discover the why with testing. And third, get that all-important context with CI. And then, step 4, you turn those insights into real, tangible growth. Every single click and every sale on your site is part of a story. It's the story of what your customers want, what frustrates them, and what truly delights them. Your data is talking. The only question left is, are you listening?